Ladies and go-getters. Now, you will see that it's a slightly different thing. I feel rather odd sat over here, but never mind. So what we've got for you tonight is for what I would say probably affordable, certainly in the used market, for affordable practice amps. And we're going to go from small to large. I will remove each one as we've had a look at them. And so, you know, it's the same with all these things. You very much get what you pay for. And so we'll start at what I consider to be probably the most practical and budget little bedroom amp that you can get. We'll use this this lovely Epiphone. I've got it set on the centre position between both pickups, and everything is flat out. So I'll leave it in that same position for all of the amplifiers and we'll have a little listen. So here comes number one. And this is the Squier SP10. I assume that SP is Squier Practice Amp. And you can buy these on the used market. You'll find all these online, second hand, for probably around 20-25 quid, something like that. People usually want about £5 or so to deliver them to you, if you can find somebody who will post stuff. So let's have a listen to it. We've got three controls here. We've got volume, bass and treble, and there's also a little knob that turns you into overdrive. So that is the volume, probably about almost half the way up with the treble and bass set full. And then we'll have a listen to the overdrive if I push this little button in. Ooh, so that's like I say, they're probably 20-25 quid, something like that. £5 postage. Nice budget little things. So I'm going to pause you. I'll remove that and we'll have a listen to the next one. Right. First of all, I should let you have a decent look at it. So you've just got one input there, and there's a headphone out, which is of course terribly useful if you don't want to annoy, you know, parents, siblings, partners, whatever. Sealed at the back like this. I think they're all pretty much the same, and it's got a little, how big is that? 8 inches. That's an 8-inch speaker in it, little 8-inch speaker. So that's what you get with that. Okay, moving on. Okay, so we're now moving on to the Blackstar ID Core 40. This is my favourite amplifier, absolutely, in the world and of all time. They are just amazing. I mean, they've got so many facilities with them. I will never ever learn how to use them. It also comes, well, you can buy a foot switch, I think they're about 25 quid, but for me it's a bit pointless unless I was playing live anyway. So let's have a listen to it. So you've got gain and volume and EQ and effects, you've got delay, something called modulation. Okay, I'll show you the front panel after we've had a little listen. So at the moment I've got it set on clean bright. The gain is up just about a third, maybe a little less. The volume is about 2/3 at the moment, the EQ is at a third or so, and we've just got a little bit of delay on it. And these are stereo, and you can you can take the signal out from them and there's an emulated line out which doubles up as a headphone socket, and there's just one input, and I think they've all got one input as it goes. So yes, here we go. Alright, let's listen to one of the overdrives. There's a few settings, but I will show you the top panel, and then you can obviously have a look at what it does. If you understand it, then well done you, because I don't. I use two settings. I use noisy, I use clean. I never use effects pedals with this because it has everything that I want. So they're the two settings that I use, and now I will unplug it and let you have a look at the panel. These you can pick up, I think, on the used market for around the, I don't know, I think I paid £100 for it, but you can probably now get them, because these are getting a bit long in the tooth, so you can probably get them now a little less, more expensively than that. So you've even got a USB input which you can plug your laptop into, and so you can play backing tracks on your laptop and play along to it all out the same little box. And you've got two 6-inch speakers in there, and as I've told you before, that this is my favourite amplifier since my Vox AT30 that I had in the 70s. So yes, you've got an EQ sweep, modulation, delay, and you can even download patches from the interweb and get other people's stored patches so that you can copy those. But these are, in my humble opinion, just absolutely brilliant. Okay, on to number 3. Okay, so on to number 3, which is the Carlsberg Kickstart 25. And this, I imagine this is probably 20 years old, but it's surprisingly good. So you've got volume, gain, bass, middle, treble, and reverb, which is excellent. You've got one input, you've got a foot switch socket, and you've also got a headphone socket, which is terrific. If you had a foot switch in it, I assume that it will, because I've not tried it, but I assume that it will switch you from clean to overdrive. So let's have a listen. That's pretty good. I like the reverb on it, it's very good. So let's press the overdrive. Alrighty. Let's turn the volume down and the gain up. Is that the right way around? Okay. Absolutely brilliant. And again, these, I should think that you're only going to be paying 25 or 30 quid plus a bit of postage for one of these. I would think just have a look and see what you can find. Okay, so let's move on to our fourth and final. Okay, so for the fourth and final, we have the Randall. They've been making amps for a long time, and their products have been used by many celebrities. And so this is the I couldn't say better because this thing is really loud. There's an awful more power than the Blackstar, certainly, or louder than when I say more power. It's louder than if you crank them both up full, this would win. So alright, let's have a listen and we'll have a little look through it. So I've got some kind of echo on it at the moment. There's 15 different effects settings. One of them's one of them I quite like. It's a bit chorusy. Not that one. So listen to on the reverbs. It's a bit slappy, isn't it? Bit plate reverb, bit slappy kind of reverb. Okay, and there's one input, but two channels. Of course, you've got an overdrive channel, you've got a master gain, and there's also a level for the amount of effect you put into your sound. So we've got. Let me see if I can switch it onto the overdrive channel, wherever that is. Sorry about that. As I was saying, it's jolly loud. Oh, that's the master volume. Oh, thank goodness for that. I've got to tell you that has got some guts. Very, very powerful, and what's it got? I think it's got a single 12-inch in there, and clearly, as it says here, we've got Celestion. It's horses for courses, is it not? It's just whatever you think is best for you. My favourite amongst them is quite obviously, as you will know, the Blackstar, and these I should think second hand, what are you picking on these up for? 80 quid, something like 70 or 80 quid, I would reckon. Let me show you the front panel. And then you can see all the bits and bobs that it's got. I've not seen one of these before. So yes, you've got the input select from overdrive or clean. You've got bass, middle, treble, EQ, I seem to think. Yep. And level controls, and as I say, you've got a selector switch that takes through 15 different effects, one of which is chorus, and then there's a load of different reverbs and delays. I think it's loud, but not a favourite, I would have to say. It's just, for me, it's not subtle. Like as if I am. Anyway, you're on my haunches. So that's it. I just hope that it was helpful in some way. But certainly, if you're in the market for some kind of either bedroom or practice amplifier. The main things that I would go for would be certainly a headphone socket, certainly a reverb, and certainly an overdrive. So have a think about what kind of specs that you need from this kind of piece of equipment, and base your judgment from there, and the price, because you want to get the most bang for your buck. These, as I say, I think you can probably pick them up for about 70 or 80 quid. The Black Stars, probably about the same, around the 80, 90 quid, maybe 100 quid if it's a spanker, you know. And the two little amps, well, they're 20, 30 quid, aren't they? So, there we go, that's it from me. Thank you all ever so much for watching. Adios amigos. Ta-ra.